we have to mention Klong in this very specific circumstance. He's always been known to be a very emotional player, to the point where he was literally raging at his teammates or fighting them in voice comms when things didn't go as well. So that could very well cater towards what happened here. Let's hope for Soa that they're going to be able to recollect themselves, to regroup themselves, and find a better way, find a better grip into game number 2.
Let's see what they can do. It's their chance for a recovery here. As for now, CE started off banning out the Garage, not wanting to give that over to Soa. They prioritize it so highly, they will ban it out themselves, which is a pretty good time to do it. When you're this far ahead, heading into a big international tournament, it makes a lot of sense to practice practice having your own secret weapons, honestly, banned out against you.
Absolutely. Absolutely true. So let's see what we're going to be able to see here now from Team Soa, whether their team morale has been restored or whether they're going to face CE with a little bit of a, psychological disadvantage here. If there's one team you need to be at 100%, where you need to bring your A game, it would be CE though. So it would be the worst timing possible for them to fight internally amongst each other.
We're gonna have to find out. For now, Soa just holding their own pick for the moment, thinking it through. As far as we are aware, he has returned for this game, so this is good. So here is the question: what are we going to see?
Yeah, the Genji ban already is kind of nice. You know, you take it away from a Lufel who's, without a doubt, one of the strongest Genji players in the league. And there goes Phoenix, the newest addition to the Nexus, has been deployed for the very first time. And that seems to be Klong's hero. So he seems to be back now, guys. The tank player for Soa that left the game on purpose in game number 1. Let's see if he feels a little bit more comfortable on the Muradin this time.
Muradin, very safe tank, very solid hero, should be very good here, and it's great protection for Phoenix. So, good to see Phoenix popping up here for the first time once again. Give or take... Okay. Unusual. Give or take the some of the lower regions. Not some of the lower regions. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm going to restart this sentence. Give or take some games, Phoenix has had a pretty successful win rate in certain hands. Once again, KSV absolutely dominated with it, but they also were able to defeat it when they played against it. They seem to have that pretty figured out and run it.
All right.
Here's the Varian.
Ooh, that could be the immediate hard counter to the Phoenix, especially after level 13, where he gains access to the Shattering Throw. The way it works, the Phoenix shield is treated like any other shield in the game. Like a Tassadar shield, for example, like a Zarya shield. So it can be broken by Shattering Throws activatable altogether. So you activate your Shattering Throw, you land it in Phoenix, and his entire shielding is going to be gone in an instant. That, of course, allows for the rest of his team to really collapse on the Phoenix and take him down in a couple of seconds if he doesn't have his teleport available, which is a rather long cooldown. So already things are going to be a little dicey here for the Phoenix player, whoever it may be. I'm suspecting it'll be TY, because I think he probably has a larger hero pool than Sori, but I could be wrong. Could be Sori.
Now, in terms of shield bursting, if this is the strategy we're going for, there are only 3 heroes in the game with any kind of bonus damage to shield. And that is Varian, Kael'Thuzad, and Morales. With Malfurion on the board, I think it's very unlikely we will see an EMP grenade Morales.
Yeah.
And Kael'Thuzad, SPT attempted it, and no, sorry, it was CE who attempted it earlier, and it was less than successful. I would not be surprised to see them not do that again.
It was one of the few times where we saw a team just disrespecting their opponents and going for something. Actually, it was the second time, because SPT tried to do the exact same last week with Kerrigan and Ana. But sometimes when these, really favored teams in China, like CE or SPT, when they go a little crazy, when they just try to have fun and experiment on new things, it really tends to backfire quite a bit. CE lost against KT. When they played the KT, funnily enough, against SPT, they lost against, what was it? Who was it? Sunny Line, when they tried out the Ana Kerrigan.
That is correct. It was less than successful, to say the minimum here. But The question now is, how successfully can they make this work? They're bringing out the Maiev to run with it. A very KSV-style draft, immediately just showing up out of nowhere here for Soa.
Yeah, the Maiev, of course, could be the tool they need. Keep in mind that Maiev has, of course, this playmaking capability, right? She could go for the Warden's Cage. And then, for example, we could maybe see a Planet Cracker to fall down onto the trapped targets. I mean, we have seen Planet Cracker in other regions, in other competitive games before, doing pretty astounding things. But, of course, the more competitive, the more standard route is the Purification Salvo. Both could actually work really well with the Warden's Cage, now that I think of it.
I can see that. I can absolutely see that. I agree with you there. I will say, though, Planet Cracker is very fast and very fun, just in terms of visuals. I've personally been enjoying just rolling into quick match as Murky with Octograb, and just because it's the newest hero, so therefore Phoenix is almost in every game. So I'm like, hey, just pick this, and then just one person dies, everyone else lives, they just move out of the Planet Cracker, but it's very satisfying when that one person explodes.
Phoenix oftentimes with Planet Cracker makes Abathur unplayable, because the moment the slug shows up anywhere on the map and Phoenix has his trigger finger ready, the Planet Cracker evaporates the slug in a second and a half. So you literally shut down any greedy plays by Abathur.
Which is why, if you're playing Abathur against a Phoenix, in my opinion, then the best play is to go Locust build. In my opinion, this is the breakdown I had. We see an Alarak as the final pick, very melee heavy with Maiev and Alarak, but lots of point-blank CC there, which is going to be even the assassins are fronting for the Phoenix, which is kind of cool. But it's super interesting where basically Abathur, you have to stay mobile or in the base, so you have to gain value elsewhere. So either mine build to try and gain value elsewhere, or you stay mobile, drop in, drop some Locust, leave, but always stay moving so that Phoenix can't just blow you up.
Yeah, definitely true. So I think it's hard to say anything bad about CE's draft. I think it looks very well-rounded. You have the Varian, needs a little bit of time to get strong, but if he gets there at level 4 and level 7, then he's definitely going to be the hero that paves the way for the follow-up damage with Thrall. We have a lot of disengage as well if he chooses to go for Sundering. And as you said, Soa's draft looks very melee heavy. That could be very susceptible to heroes like long-distance poking heroes like Hanzo, for example. So we're going to dive into the action here in Battlefield of Eternity. We're going to stick with the Diablo Battlegrounds. And CE, once again, in the blue trunks, is represented by Alufal on the Hanzo, Wind on the Varian, 365 on Mouth. We have KTY on Tychus, and last but not least, Zuyu on the Thrall.
And on the right-hand side, it is start over again with Fei on the Maiev, Uncle G on Rhaegar, TY on Alarak, Klong back on Muradin, and Sorry is playing the Phoenix. Yeah, Klong has in fact started over again, and he is back.
And already they're doing things a little differently. We're used to seeing advanced targeting a lot, which is of course the stacking talent for Phoenix, which increases his auto attack damage whenever targets are hit by his Q laser. Now in China, or for the first China Phoenix game on camera, we are seeing the mobile offense, which basically gives him, you know, additional attack damage after moving unmounted for a certain moment in time. So that is interesting. So the longer Phoenix, or the more Phoenix walks around unmounted, the more auto attack damage he's going to be able to deliver.
Yeah, and this seemed to be the most popular talent when he came out. This was the one that everyone sort of went to and was like, okay, this is going to be the best one. You're going to get extra damage just for stutter stepping, what you should be doing anyway. Hell yeah, I want this. But in terms of overall total value, advanced targeting seems to be a little bit better if you have a team to trust with it. But now, though, he is going to move in here. You see the stutter step getting that big AoE damage as well.
So much damage.
Huge damage onto Alufal, targeting him down. The laser was a little bit of too, but not enough for a kill from either team.
And by the way, it is Sorry on the Phoenix after all, so not TY who chose to go for the Alarak in top lane. And Alarak is sitting in a very comfortable spot here against Thrall up to this point, right? He has longer range, lower cooldowns on his abilities, lower mana cost as well. And Thrall, interestingly enough here, Tetcher, chose to go for Crash Lightning, sorry. Despite the fact that he's currently in the one-on-one lane. So Zuyu is probably hoping or banking on the fact that he will get enough stacks during the Immortal phase anyways. And that is a very interesting approach to the game when Echo of the Elements has been the more popular and successful talent up to this point.
Sorry, with the shield down, is forced to pull back, taking huge amounts of burst damage from Hanzo. But yeah, like you said, Thrall should be able to, in theory, get the majority of his stacks in the Immortal phase. It is interesting that he has been put in the solo lane. I think at some point they plan on putting Varian in the solo lane, but then decided against it because Soa reacted so appropriately by picking up that Alamak.
Yeah, and they wouldn't have had a tank in the format, like a true tank, so that is always a little bit of an issue. So yes, due to the fact that they had a very weird draft with only one true solo laner, despite the fact that Zuyu intentionally or originally didn't really seem to vote for it. Let's see how many stacks he will be able to accumulate throughout the course of the game here. Now, Mercenary camp's being taken for Soa, but of course the Bruiser camp, the Fallen Shaman camp, was also taken for CE. So in terms of raw pushing damage, this is looking very strong for Soa right now. Can they defend? CE is actually not going towards the middle of the map yet. They need to keep this lane clean. Very dropping dangerously low here, actually. Keep
himself alive here. Target acquired, by the way, for the Phoenix here. Giving himself that hyper mobility. He's able to hit slowed heroes. His team offers slowed heroes. Muradin especially, a very solid hero here. In comes Bayev to pull in Varian. Not the best target, but they might be able to do something here. But the whole idea is it's going to give Phoenix a little bit extra movement speed, allow him to micro and that stutter step. Pull that mobile offense a little bit better.
And Tetcher, Soa is committed to this push. They need to make it work. They have 5 heroes here, whereas Alufal only joins the team right now. He was spending a little bit of time in the bottom lane to keep pushing with their own Fallen Shaman camp. So for the fact that CE defended this push quite handsomely, not only were they able to get a little bit of value in the bottom themselves, but also they were able to soak a little bit more. Now the stun hitting on Alufal on the Hanzo, Mai immediately trying to go in.
Huge amounts of damage. Klong is dropped low, but he has third wind. All he has to do is now stay out of combat, also stay in that healing totem. Dodges the lightning, but CE with Thrall Zuyu here, still able to already pick up a stack, and they pushed him bot lane pretty hard. That Fallen Shaman camp getting lots of value. Yeah,
Maiev already on the way. She realized that sooner or later, this Fallen Shaman camp is going to single-handedly annihilate the bottom fort. So now we could have a 5 versus 4 situation for CE, or they're using this time window while they have a numbers advantage to basically regenerate some health. Taunt the root, the minigun, Bird, it is no more. Klong ends up falling.
Nice little kill immediately for CE there. This is actually first blood. Very slow start to the game. Despite the best efforts of Phoenix, who is currently waiting for the shield to recharge.
Another taunt.
Even too much aggressive. Another taunt and onto TY, but telekinesis into the Immortal stun. This is the joy of Alarak on this map. But it's not enough if you just absolutely lose the race without getting a single point of damage onto the enemy Immortal.
Yeah, and of course the Hanzo PvE damage still very strong, can never be underestimated on BOE in particular. I think in terms of raw PvE value, this is probably his strongest map. Now, Zuyu, during all of this, of course, will be able to stack a couple of Crash Lightning stacks. Gets locked down, he's focused, but also gets saved. And Klong, once again, he ends up getting taken down. Klong having an exceptionally rough time. First of all, disconnecting, quitting, whatever you want to call it, in game number 1. And now getting focused over and over again. Sorry, now trying to use his repeater cannon on the Phoenix to deal as much damage onto the Immortal as possible. But of course, without the Muradin, with so much damage taken being taken before, they can never hope to outrace CE, who take themselves a first Immortal with roughly 55% of shields.
See the very aggressive push. This will be into the top lane. Alarak moves down to bot. He's going to try and soak his team some XP, get them to level 7, even talents at minimum, to try and make this defense a little bit easier. The problem is, that means there's going to be a 5 versus 4 attack up in the top lane in favor of CE. They move in, over half shield on the Immortal. It's finally starting to tick down, back to that tower. Looks at the gate instead of the tower so they can get a better engage potential. It opens it up for wind as he already has Thorn.
Yeah, it's very unusual to see a 5-man push before level 10, right? Because you always want to be able to soak a little bit more in the offlane. Klong once again dropping dangerously low, but Fei with the retaliation blows. All of those fan of knives here, wonderfully done. Dodges the taunt as well with the vault. And for now, the attack has been stalled. No casualties were taken, but also the Immortal still on a rampage, taking down the top fort and is now marching dangerously close to the top keep as well.
Going to absolutely decimate at least one more tower, probably both actually, maybe just a tower and a gate. They're all continuing to gain lots of lovely stacks. And Malfurion for this is up. We're going to have one tower and the gate here. No, with the Punisher going into its slam mode, it actually won't even kill off the gate here.
Yeah. KTY also falling. This was a really good pickup here for Soa. Nice Feral Spirit onto Fei to keep the Warden at bay, because only one tether, only one Umbral Bind could have sealed the deal for yet another member of CE. And Zuyu actually overstaying his welcome, getting a little bit too far ahead of himself. Look at the healing and the stun cleanse as well from the level 7 talent of 365. Wonderful Malfurion plays, really well done.
They dropped really low instead. He is forced to back up as Wind put the pressure on. And they're pushing in a 4 versus 5 here, looking to see if they can pick up a kill, or at least gain more stacks to Thrall. Not able to do either, and as such, having to pull back. Looks like Zuyu has managed to complete his Q quest in less than a minute quicker. Sorry, more than a minute quicker than anyone else has so far.
Yeah, I mean, that is just win for you, right? That is win. Playing on Varian and playing him so well with the constant brawling and skirmishing action going on. He managed to always make sure that there were enough enemy heroes to land his Lion's Maw on here. Now, oh, the Dragon's Air just whiffing by an inch here. The thought process was really nicely done here, right? They wanted to taunt and lock Phoenix down, but I think Lufel actually calculated Phoenix retreating and not staying still in the same location thanks to that taunt. So almost made that work. If that Dragon's Air had connected, then of course that would have been yet another death for Soa.
Warp Warfare coming in for Phoenix, extra attack speed. You gotta burn down enemy heroes that way. You get that extra mobility, you get that extra attack speed, you get that extra damage with the stutter step. It is the best talent setup for chasing down a single person repeatedly and just blowing them up. If you're blowing up, down goes bottom fort.
Wind is going in super aggressively. He realized that with the lack of level 10 here for Soa, he's pretty much untouchable here. We do have a Sunbring as well that could be used to lock down the MIF or the Phoenix. Nope, he goes with MIF. The taunt is good as well, and the kill is an easy one to pick up.
Very nicely done by CE picking up that kill. They were looking for Phoenix, but sorry. Luckily has that warp, easily able to teleport away. And you can see the rest of CE cleaning up the minion wave as well, keeping pressure on in the lane. And they're going to try and look for Klong again. Root doesn't land thanks to the cleanse of HGC.
Yeah, good cleanse. Otherwise, that could have gotten very dangerous for Muradin with the double root and the minigun of Tychus here. As well, level 10 is here. Planet Cracker, Warden's Cage. We are going all in. That is the motto for Team Soa. Can they make it work, though? Here goes the Planet Cracker, but whiffing for the most part. And Sorry's also getting chunked out by a Thrall. Be careful. Actually drops the Ancestor healing as well.
365 actually took a lot of damage from that Planet Cracker, having to move into it to get the tranquility value, but stays alive thanks to his own boot fight. But KTY in a rough position gets silenced here, but is able to pull back. TY goes back, and Fei is the only one to blow up. Klong will go down as well due to the lovely chase potential and a messy engage. They didn't use any of their tools in synergy.
Yeah, I thought they would use the Warden's Cage and the Planet Cracker together, right? Because that would have made it so much more difficult for the enemy team to retreat because of those permanent, you know, bounce backs that would have happened. So a little unclean, little chaotic execution here by Soa. Maybe Sorry on that Planet Cracker in particular needs to wait a little bit longer, and Fei, on the other hand, needs to drop the Warden's Cage a little more quickly. For now, though, CE, they secure themselves 100% shield immortal, and that is going to be almost certainly the keep, let alone the core if Soa loses a member or two.
Yeah, and they're going to be rolling into the bot lane with this. Sonic Arrow for good measure sees everyone more stacks on that that Crash Lightning. They're heading straight in for this keep. This will be a keep and potentially core if Soa get themselves caught and die here. TY, kind of his job at this point to try and catch someone. With that silence, not able to do so. Shield wall from Wind, keeping him alive and safe. Zuyu gains more stacks. Sorry, look at that little big chunk of green there. No shield available at all. He's so switching about it, and down he goes. Klong leaps to freedom. The Mortal still just under half health. Gonna take down the Deep Ancestral. Nicely done onto Fei. This is potentially the last chance for Soa to defend it. Pulling in with that upward fight onto Varian. The Warden's Cage, preventing the chase. Uncle G running the front of the base. Uncle G gets killed off by the Odin because he didn't go in the base. And, well, Klong is going to be able to heal up with third wind. The core cannot do the same, and that is going to be GG. And CE will take the convincing 2-0.
Yeah, the main problem here was that Phoenix was taken down so early. He couldn't even use the Planet Cracker. He couldn't even use anything to keep their opponents at bay. And as such, it was just an easy walk in the park for CE with that full shield, full HP Immortal to basically waltz over their structures and take game number 2 as well. This was the first big step for CE to take to secure their participation at Midseason Brawl as China's first seed potentially. So now it's up to SBT, it's up to the One to perform just as well if they don't want to lose